Now, among the many troubling consequences of the pandemic is that millions more children are going hungry. The UN estimates that by the end of the year, an extra 6.7 million children under the age of 5 risk malnourishment. Thousands are predicted to die from hunger.
More children are becoming malnourished due to the socio-economic shocks created by the pandemic in low-income and middle-income countries. As leaders of 4 UN agencies, we are issuing a call for action to protect children's right to nutrition.
The report also highlights a vicious circle that the malnutrition puts families and their children at greater risk of dying from COVID too. Help is struggling to get through. Lockdowns have seriously hampered humanitarian organisations and food supply chains in getting food to those critical regions. Next this morning, Caleb Maupin then has more on the UN's dire assessment for the world's most vulnerable.
1 in 3 children around the world is thought to be malnourished. Their growth is stunted. Meanwhile, 1/3 of children who die before the age of 5 are thought to have died from malnutrition. The COVID-19 pandemic and lockdowns around the world are only making this situation worse. We've got the director of the World Food Program warning the world about the danger of potentially multiple famines of biblical proportions.
In a worst-case scenario, we could be looking at famine in about 3 dozen countries. And in fact, 10 of these countries, we already have more than 1 million people per country who are on the verge of starvation.
The numbers are horrific. 10,000 child deaths per month. That's along with 500,000 children developing a condition called wasting, in which their limbs and bellies become disfigured due to malnutrition. Africa and South America are the hardest hit. Malnutrition is already a big problem in countries like Burkina Faso, but the pandemic is taking a bad situation and making it far, far worse, with a number of countries still locked down and cases still rising around the world. The humanitarian cost of the global lockdown and the COVID-19 pandemic is adding up to be colossal.
A lot of the progress that we have made in ensuring that breastfeeding happen appropriately, that the quality of children's diets in the first years of lives happen properly, that food systems were particularly focused on children's nutrition, all that progress is being eroded by the pandemic. What this report achieves for the first time is the ability for all players working in nutrition to have a single narrative to focus our efforts. The second thing is clarity of purpose on what needs to be done. We expect governments around the world to take action. Our commitment right now is to make the needs of children center stage, to highlight what will be required to protect the well-being of these children. Now it's up to the global community to stand behind us and help us achieve this absolutely essential objective.
It's so sad to see it, isn't it? Well, that's the way things are looking for the newsroom so far this hour. We invite you to keep across any breaking news and anything else that we're talking about today at rt.com and our various social media. So wherever you're watching around the world right now, thank you for checking out our programme. We always appreciate it here in Moscow. For now, Kevin Owen reporting, and have a great Wednesday.